Hi guys, Azu here again, and today we take a look at my config and how I have basically set up my whole game. So this is a pretty basic thing to talk about. I really try to basically make it a little bit more different, and you can download my whole config in an alternative version with my whole key bindings in the description. You can also find the core version of my config, which basically just loads everything without the key bindings in the description. So you can basically just download one pack and you have two configs in there. One is alternative and the other one is with all this stuff. So feel free to download those if you really wish to. If you don't, basically that's your whole choice and I'm completely fine with that. So let's talk about settings. First, let me show you my video settings. Or no, let's go the mouse thing. So I've basically set my mouse up like this. Mouse sensitivity set to 2. Raw input on, as well as mouse acceleration off. Really important. I have set my mouse to 800 dpi. And you know, all these bindings, you can find it in the config and it gets executed, so no point in showing you that. Let's go to my game settings. I have basically disabled the game instructor. Matchmaking ping is irrelevant for me because I don't play matchmaking. Developer console activated, of course. And you know, show an inventory bomb position. Top screen, this mini scoreboard, my team tag, you know, the important thing goes here. So HUD radar size 1, radar zoom map, radar map zoom 0.35, rotate the radar yes, and which is really important, CL radar always entered set to 0, really important. So you basically, the whole radar or the center point moves with your position on the minimap, which you can see right now. I have it zoomed out so far that basically I have the whole overview on the map, which is really important in the way we play as a team. So that's just the thing I have going for me and my team. So next thing. Let's go to video settings. This is really interesting. Before I go into that, I want to say that I have an NVIDIA graphics card and I basically have set my digital vibrance to 80% before any of these settings apply. That's really important. So video settings, let's go into that. So as you can see, I have brightness set to 2.6, as well as playing 1024 by 768. So a 4:3 aspect ratio, a really standard one at that. I don't play stretched, I play black bars. That's just to keep a lot of information in a small window and I don't have to move my eyes a lot on the screen, so I don't have to look around with my eyes. I basically just can stay focused on the center and basically just keep my eyes on my crosshair all the time and still see a lot going on the edges. So there's a lot of debate going on, 16:9 versus 4:3, and I just think 4:3 still is my preferential thing to go by, and really it's just a whole preference thing in my opinion. I really played 16:9 a long time, and I really think it's just too distracting from the core action. And if you play a lot of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you basically know where you have to look at, and you don't need the 16:9 because, well, basically you will have a great map knowledge and you know where the enemies could stand, and you basically don't have to rely on a wider field of view in order for you to get your head moving in the direction in which the enemy could be standing. So you basically know where the enemy is standing and you pre-aim all the time, and most of the time you're right. And that's basically it. There's no real great advantage, in my opinion, playing 16:9. Okay, yeah, higher resolution, but meh, don't really need that. I have much rather a smaller resolution, focus down on a smaller portion of my screen, so I can have the better information flow from the screen to my eyes, basically. So another thing, brightness. 2.6, I played like that on Source, and that's the reason why I have it turned down so low. And in Source it was, I think it was to do with flashbangs. If you're flashed and you have your brightness turned all the way down, you can basically you're not flashed as long as someone playing with monitor gamma 1.6, so a really high value, and you have a slight advantage. So I basically just did the same thing here, and I have adjusted my monitor, which is a 120 Hz BenQ XL 240/20, I think, 2420T, I think. Pretty simple. I have the black equalizer set to 20, sharpness set to 8, contrast to 100, and brightness set to 100 as well. So I basically have all the brightness in my monitors. So that's a thing. Global shadow quality set to high, model texture detail low, effect detail high, as well as shader detail high. I play with multi-core rendering enabled, of course. Multisampling anti-aliasing mode set to 4 times, as well as the texture filtering mode. That one is completely optional. You can bump it up to 16 times if you have a great graphics card. I have one too, and I just don't care. I find 4 times way sufficient. The global shadow quality is a really important bit. You can see shadows from much further away. For example, here, if I just stay like that, my shadow will be visible down there. And you know what? Let's just get a bot in here. And of course, okay. Let me just execute my practice config, and the game restarts. Okay, that's completely fine. So, okay, so let's just add a bot. And just restart again. So, let's just get away from this annoying helicopter. Let's just place a bot like that. So you can see, for fuck's sake. So let's just get another one there. You can see their shadows down there, and you can see them before even moving around the corner. You have more information that way if you play on high shadow quality, and you can just basically pre-aim and go like that or something along these lines. So that's the thing. I like it if I have more information about the enemy way sooner than anyone else. So yeah, that's why I play with high shadow details. And have I forgot something? Ah, yeah, the audio settings. Basically, I'll play 2 speakers. Even with headphones, you can change it down to headphones. Really a preferential thing. And the really important thing about this here is having your master music volume set to 0.04 or 5, sorry, and bump up your 10-second warning volume up to 1. And you can also bump up your bomb/hostage volume up to 1, so you know when, the 10-second warning volume is basically if you're playing as a CT and you don't have a kit and you think about defusing and you hear the music setting in, you know it's too late. Better save your weapon and buy up for the next round and buy a diffuser for the next round, so you can basically get the diffuse quicker done. So that's just a nice thing to have, in my opinion. really great thing, actually. You can basically save you a ton of money if you have this enabled. A lot of people don't know about this, so let's just get this out. And that was pretty much about it. You know, everything else is entirely optional. And if you think about downloading my config just to get better, that's not how it's going to be. I'm basically just I would much rather play on your own config or on someone else's config a lot longer and just get consistent with it. However, feel free to still download my config and just play with it and play the hell out of it, and basically just getting consistent with your shit, basically. Like, getting consistent in Counter-Strike Global Offensive is the beginning and the start of your career, and the beginning and the end of your career. If you really start to get really inconsistent, then basically, yeah, you should really take a break, think about how you can get more consistent. And the answer to basically getting consistent is just play the living shit out of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's just, there's no shortcut you can take. It is work, in my opinion, to remain on a certain level of play. It really is, and it just doesn't come from nowhere, basically. So that was about it. I just hope I can end this whole thing without rambling on too much. So I hope you liked this this more unusual video, which was also a user request. However, the user request was a long time ago. I just had a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, you know, the usual stuff with my uploads. I basically hope you still could enjoy it. A lot of people might ask themselves what the Lagish highlights are. They're just the highlights of my team, and they're all in German. So if you like funny shit, and if you are in for some laughs, and you somehow know the German language, and you don't get like instant cancer from it, then you can basically watch it. It's just for shits and giggles there, and you know, just having a good time with my team. I'm basically rocking some cups, going through the 99 Damage League and some league plays, and I just really like it, doing such videos. However, my shadow play lately crapped out on me, and okay, I'm just rambling on for fucking ever right now, so let's just end it right here. Hope I see you in the next video. Till then, guys, bye bye, see you there.